more than a game. Don't play with my name. You come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished. Put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah. Put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach, put me in the game.
What you waiting for? Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Tell the chauffeur to open Mercedes door. Put the pedal to metal and made it soar. She was, but I made it sure it was. So we stayed indoors. Let's take it where no one has been before. It feel like I've known you some years before, but I don't know. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. She's a Lotus and I'm the conductor of a Magnum Opus. Simply braggadocious. Why don't we take advantage of this moment? And wherever you own, we own it. I'm on the big screen. I took a big swing out of life. I'm doing big things in my life. I deserve 6 rings like I'm Mike. I've got no sleep. I remember when it was the nosebleeds. Now they captured the fashion from flow seats. I'm a whole king. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. She's a Lotus and I'm the conductor of a Magnum Opus. Simply braggadocious. Why don't we take advantage of this moment? And wherever you own, we own it. Ooh, it's trouble in paradise. So let's parachute where the air's nice. And let's risk it all on the paradise. But she just wanna make sure her hair's nice. That's fair, right? I just fell in love with a prima donna. The 2023 Madonna. I mean, your honor, I was minding my business until she gave me complete nirvana. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Are you ready? Okay, say no more. She's a Lotus and I'm the conductor of a Magnum Opus. Simply braggadocious. Why don't we take advantage of this moment? And wherever you own, we own it.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports.
This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone.
They ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now it's Wilson.
That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And he is going to lose yardage here. Sauce Gardner, he got downhill quickly and stuck him behind the line of scrimmage. The Broncos at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. They're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Sanders has it over the middle.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try to run for it with Sanders.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. That one goes for 8 yards.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
On second down, Wilson. Again, he finds Moore. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 34.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Sanders, he is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Here's Wilson.
Right side, it's Hamler pulling it in.
Touchdown!
K.J. Hamler,
his second touchdown on the season.
And the Broncos will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Taking it about the 1. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10.
At their own 26. They'll start by running the option to the right. And this one goes nope. Losing yardage back at the 22. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Wilson. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded right at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
He's got a man complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Pressure comes and Wilson's going to go down. Josie Jewell, the linebacker, getting the sack.
I know we don't have a special scoreboard to show it, but the offense, they've surrendered more sacks than they have points thus far. This defense, they're winning in all phases of the game right now.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So that one a disaster. A big loss there with 2nd down coming up. They go play action now. Wilson. And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. He's going to look deep for Moore. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. 1st and 10. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They go play action with Wilson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Wilson to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
Albert Okuwebunam, the intended target. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's only able to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
Another try after the first down sack. Wilson, he'll let this go deep for Sutton, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. 4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Here's Corliss Waitman now. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets have cut it back within a score. Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Running right, here's Sanders. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They'll go option to the short side. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And that'll go for a gain of 18 on the keeper. First down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. 2nd and 7 from the 20. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The kick by McManus is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
The kick by McManus is good. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's Wilson. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes, because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does, because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. Fourth down. Here's Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. K.J. Hamler. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Broncos' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Wilson going to throw for it. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on the 2-point try. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. 30. 10. 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Jets. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's going.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. McManus's point after is good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
On 1st down, Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Taken at about the 1. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson, and the Broncos get there and take him down. Michael Ojemudia in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this one or in a future game.
And now he'll let this one go deep, back over the middle. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. So after the sack here, 2nd and 14. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Touchdown, Broncos. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Broncos get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Throw to the right, taken in by Berrios. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Throwing is Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
The Jets on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Play action. It's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, But they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. Give him 5 on the QB run, but it's going to bring up a 4th down. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. The kick by McManus is good.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now it's Wilson. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the Broncos are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the 2nd half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him.
A pass from Sutton is intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 33. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Open man here is Conklin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Here's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because They're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and it's just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Broncos will take over on downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late fourth quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. He's a little too aggressive there from his Mike linebacker spot.
Sometimes you jump into gaps trying to draw them off sides. This time he tricked himself.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for Denver, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll try again next week at home against New England.